to present the Freedom of Expression Award to Laura Poitras. Please welcome to the stage, Jaheen Nuha.
Jahan Nujaim. It is such a deep honor to stand here to celebrate my dear friend and one of the bravest filmmakers I know, Laura Poitras. We met through D.A. Pennebaker and Chris Hedges. It must have been about 25 years ago. For so many years, we've been part of a community of filmmakers who have relied on each other, supported each other, inspired each other, and loved and cared deeply for one another through some of the most difficult and most beautiful moments of our filmmaking life. And looking back now, I see how very rare and very special this community is, bound by a shared belief that film can speak truth when words alone cannot. There could not be a more crucial time to have such a community. Laura has embodied that belief from the very beginning. She's made her films against all odds, facing consequences most of us can hardly imagine. She's been stopped and searched at airports, her computers seized, her privacy invaded, all because she dared to tell stories that powerful institutions wanted to silence. But Laura never stopped. She never backed down. Her courage and persistence have been a lifeline for all of us who believe in freedom of speech and the right to tell the truth. Through My Country, The Oath, Citizen 4, All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, and now Cover Up, Laura has made a body of work that defines what it means to bear witness. Each film is a testament to her fierce intelligence and her deep empathy, her ability to hold complexity and humanity in the same frame. Her films don't just document events, they demand accountability. They remind us that the act of filming can itself be an act of resistance and a way of standing up for those who cannot speak freely. Tonight's Freedom of Expression Award could not have been given to a more perfect recipient. This award is given to a filmmaker whose work exemplifies an unflinching commitment to the truth, and that's exactly what Laura has done, not once, but again and again and again, with extraordinary grace and bravery. And a note on bravery, what does that mean? I think it means that you have to face the unknown and put your life on the line. When I was making The Square and I was arrested, I think the most terrifying thing was not that I was disappeared for hours or the dirtiness, or as I was put in that cell, I thought I could be in here for 5 days or 5 years or forever. And when that thought hit me, I thought, whoa, you're really facing the unknown. It's poking this beast that you just don't know what's gonna happen, and Laura does that all the time. She continues to do so in a time when we desperately need to present a counter-narrative to the world that we've been living in. They are going to try to shut us up. They're going to try to shut us down, and the work and our friendships at this time could not be more important. Laura, you've inspired me and so many of us. You remind us that freedom of expression isn't abstract. It's personal, it's fragile, and it's worth fighting for. Your example gives us strength. Your dedication to this community empowers each of us to continue the fight and to stand up again and again when we get knocked down. When I look at you, I still remember us in our 20s or 30s, chilling out with Pennebaker and hanging on his every word of advice, his stories of doing this work when no one wanted to watch documentaries, of going bankrupt more than once, and selling all of his stuff just to keep on making films, although he never sold his films. You have lived with the same sense of integrity and dedication against all odds, and now your stories, like his stories inspired us, will continue to inspire others in our community. Laura, I'm deeply honored to present you with this year's Freedom of Expression Award. Thank you for showing us through your life and your films what it means to be truly fearless.
I do documentary films, and I do work that looks at broad themes, but I tell the stories by looking at individual stories and try to document historical events as they're unfolding in real time. Is absolutely completely dependent on the people who open their lives to me and take huge risks in doing so often. Pretty much everyone has their life on the line in one way or another, their life, their freedom, and so it's really the films are based on their courage to allow me to sort of go along on these journeys. I think in the post 9/11 era, there has been, I think, a moral vacuum. I mean, there have been things that have happened and that I think are, fundamentally violations of our principles. And so I think that that's like as a citizen, as an artist, as a filmmaker, I do want to express those things. I think it's important.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm really incredibly moved and humbled by this award, and especially to be presented it by Jahan, whose work has been kind of a beacon for me for many years, for decades, as she said. Her work specifically, what she did with Control Room, which was being ahead of everyone to be critical of what we were doing in this country with this horrible war. And she went out there ahead of everyone and exposed actually the lies and her work in the square and on and on. And she always seems to be actually in history as she's documenting it. And so to receive this from her means the world. Nothing that documentary filmmakers do is possible without the people who trust us. And I've had the incredible privilege of spending time and making films about people who've put their lives on the line and who've also done it and changed the world. And one of the things that I'm really interested in showing is how people who are willing to take risks and use their brilliance and creativity and knowledge and can change the world. So I could not be here without Dan Golden, Edward Snowden, Julian Assange, Cy Hirsch. I don't know, making films for a while, and it always seems to be dark times. So we're in dark times, people. I don't know, but these feel like especially, really existentially bad. And I think that probably most of us in this room are worried about somebody right now who, is really on the crosshairs of danger, of being arrested, of being imprisoned, of being extradited. And it's really terrifying. And it's also terrifying because, as we know, the work that we do has a lot of power, and I feel that we're really on the front lines. So as we're here together, I just want to say a few words. As filmmakers, we need to come together. We need to organize. We need to protect each other. We need to use our voices to express alternative futures that are based on justice and equality. We need to resist the attacks against our communities and our neighbors. And we must not ever preemptively capitulate to threats. We need to stand together. We must call out the institutions that abandon us and abandon students. And we have to remember that we're carrying a tradition with us. Like, as documentary filmmakers, we have the tradition of Penny to carry forward, and we have young filmmakers here, and we cannot abandon each other and that tradition. So it's an incredible honor to receive this award. And as I was coming in here, a filmmaker shared her thoughts about a couple things, and she said, "Fuck ICE and free Palestine." So I'd like to say that. Thank you.